Hi Blender fans, and welcome once again to Blender DC. I'm Terry Cassidy, and in this tutorial what we're going to do is we're going to learn a texturing trick that will really help you in your Blender journey when texturing. And what we're going to do is add a texture, and the texture is going to be one that I got from Polyhaven, and it's a laminated floor, and I'll just show you what I mean. So press the 1 key to look for the front, then select your cube, press the tab key to go into edit mode, A to select all if it's not also already selected, and what we're going to do is we're going to press the U key to project from view. So what we've now done is actually attached a UV editing window to this, and as you can see we can scale this up, and as you can see we're looking from one side. So I'm just going to add in a quick texture. So new, this texture would get taken from Polyhaven, and if we actually go to the base color, in fact I'll go back into layout because it makes it a bit easier, go into base color like that, and we add in a image texture, and what you can do is pick an image texture that you've downloaded. Me, I've put mine in salt and pepper, and like I said, this is a laminate floor that I actually downloaded from Polyhaven. And as you can see, what we've got here, it looks fine on that side, but fine on the back side, but as you can see it just appears like lines on the either side. So what we're going to do is actually fix this problem. So looking from the front, we press the 1 key, and we're going to rotate this on the X by 45 degrees and press enter. And then what we're going to do is rotate it on the Z by 45 degrees and press enter. Now what we can do now is we go back into edit mode, press the A key, and because we are now looking at all sides, if we press the U key again and project from view this time, as you can see, what this does is it will actually put our texture all the way round our cube, just like that. Go into UV editing just to have a quick look, and if we actually scale this up, S to scale, and I'm going to make this the full, I'll make it the full width of this. So looking at that, back into the layout window, as you can see we've got the actual texture. It seems to go around, and this is very good for making our pepper mill, which we're going to do in a minute. So go back to looking from the front, and we just need to undo the actual things, and what we can do is we just simply go into here, which is our object properties, and just 0 it back down so it's now square like that. So this is what we're going to actually use to make our pepper mill or salt mill, whichever you want to make first. So I'm just going to add in a reference image, and of course you can find the reference image on my channel on the community tab. So just download it. Texture, I'm going to add in an image, and it's going to be a reference image, and the reference image I say is one that I created earlier, and I'm just going to move the image back, G and Y, just to move it back along the edge like that. So now we're actually looking at our texture, but we don't want to actually select our texture by accident. So what we're going to do is go into actually filters up here, and if you actually hit this little arrow, which is the selector, you can actually make things deselect so you can't hit them by accident, and I think I'll do that with the lights as well. And just taking all the area lights off. So now all that I can actually select is the cube in our scene. So looking from the front, what I'm going to do simply is we're going to go into edit mode. In fact, now what we'll do is we'll add a subdivision to this. So add a modifier, subdivide surface, and I'm going to ramp this all the way up to 3, and in the reference in the render I'll put it right up to 5. So just shade smooth this, and you've got now a ball, or what looks like a ball. So what I'm going to do is just scale this ball up. So I went into edit mode by pressing the tab key and just scale this in the Z like this, and just move it. All I was trying to do is get this top blue line and this bottom blue line to actually match these two. So just scale it down, and G and Z. G is the go key and Z is the direction it's going along, the purple line like that. And I'm just going to actually get it so the blue lines are just there to the top and there to the top. And then I'm just going to actually take the top, select the top face. You've got point select, line select and face select, and we're just going to actually scale this down like that. And I'm just going to scale it down until it's about the size of the little screw that fastens this lid on. So we've done that, and I'm just going to move it G and Z up a little bit higher. Same with this down the bottom. What we're going to do is we're going to actually select this bottom face, and we're just going to scale it down so it matches the width of the base like that. So now we've got our starting shape, and as you can see, we've got a seamless texture that more or less runs all the way around our model, and this will carry on through our model. So looking through that, Control and R will make a loop cut, and we've got that, as you can see, looking from the 1. And what we can do is press GG just to move this down like that. And if we put 2 lines close together, it makes a sharp edge. So let's just put 2 lines close together, Control R to actually make a loop cut, and I'm just going to put those there. So now we've got ourselves a cone. Looking from the front, what we're going to do is start adding things. So add another loop cut, and we're going to move this up until that touches the top more or less there, and that's more or less it. Now what you tend to do when you're actually doing this kind of shape, you work for the thinnest part first. So as you can see, that dips in a bit, so I'm just going to Control and R to put a line in here and scale it down like that until I'm on my thinnest point. Control R, and I'm just going to scale this up by pressing the S key and just scaling it up. And as you can see, this is starting to take shape. So Control and R, put it down to there, and we've done the narrow parts first, like I said. Take it up to about there. Don't worry too much about the distance. What we're doing is matching the black line just up here into that point. Same with this one. So we do the narrow parts first. If you put 2 lines together, sharp together, then it will become a sharp line. And if you put 3, it becomes even sharper. So just scale this up just about there. And what we're going to do is put another loop cut, Control and R, and just scale this up like that. As you can see, if you can look at that, you can see that this here is a bit narrower than that. So what I'm just going to do is go on box select like that. As you can see, it hasn't selected everything. And that's what we do by actually selecting this up here, which will allow us to actually select everything. So press the 1 key to look from the front. And as you can see, it's now selected the full base. And we can scale this up like that until it's to the desired width, like that. And I'm just going to take that X-ray toggle off again. Control R, scale it up And I'm just going to keep on doing this until I've got the basic shape that I wish to have for my salt cellar. I've decided this is a salt cellar now. So as you can see, if you want to actually move something in the line, what you can do is you press GG key, which actually will move it up and down in the line until it hits another line like that. So just scale it there to about there, and then Control and R. Oops, did that wrong. Control and R for another loop cut and pull it up and just scale this up. If you lose a line like that, make sure you're on line select the line, and if you press the Alt key, it will actually select all the lines. So you select the line, hold the Alt key down and select it, and it will select the full ring. So I'm just going to scale this up. There we are. And Control and R, just make a loop cut and scale this up. So slowly but surely, as you can see, it's starting to take shape. Control and R and scale this up. And like I say, if you want to actually have a sharp line between two of these, what you need to do is actually put a couple of lines together. Control and R, I'll push this one together with that one and put one down the bottom here and pull it down. And if we come out of edit mode, as you can see, it's now put a sharp line there. And if you want it even sharper, Control and R, you put 3 together. See, we're making ourselves a pepper pot of kind, and we're doing it from our reference. Right, there's many references on the internet, but this reference I made myself. It was created by me from scratch. Control and R, and just move it down like this. And I'm just going to press the Alt key to select this line and then shrink it down a little bit more. And as you can see, I'm following the pepper pot line. Press the Alt key and just scale it up so it follows the line that you wish. Control R. See, it doesn't have to be exactly the same. If you lose the line completely, what you can actually do is go into this mode. Go into the X-ray mode, and you can see the line reappears, which will allow you to select it again. So scale it up. I think this is looking quite good, and what we're going to do now is I'm going to start making the top. So press the full stop key to actually get me there, and what I'm going to do is start making this top. Go up there, scale. You'll have to do this roughly, and you can do it really rapidly if you wish, and just scale that up. Control R, I'm just going to put a line there because I want a sharp line there. In fact, I'm going to put 3 together. 3 together there because I want a sharp line there, and Control and R. Down we go, and just scale it up. Same with this one, Control and R, scale it up quickly and easily. We're just making our pepper pot. Now it's slightly different from the actual reference, but you get the idea. 3 together there, just to make it look sharp. Same on this base down here. So we've quickly and easily made our pepper pot, but just to make it look at that little bit better, because what we've done, we've actually stretched a lot of the bits and bobs on this. So just to make it look a bit better, what we're going to do is now do what we did at the first with the cube. I'm going to rotate on the, go into edit mode, rotate on the Z, in fact, A to select all, rotate on the Z, 545 after pressing tab key. As you can see, we're actually putting that line on the corner. And same with this one, rotate on the X, 545. And what we're going to do is now do exactly the same. Press the U key, project from view. And then when we go into the UV editing tab, what we can do is A to select all, and then scale this up like that. Press the tab key to come back out of edit mode, back into your layout window. And as you can see, we've actually got this now, and it looks pretty seamless. And all you've got to do now is actually undo your angles. So pressing the tab key, make sure you've got everything selected, rotate on the X by 45, but this time we're doing it in the minus, so press the minus afterwards. and rotate in the Z by 45 and press the tab key to come out of edit mode. So now you've made yourself a salt cellar or pepper pot with no actual distortion as such. And then just a quick little bit of change. So let's just look at the bottom of here. We're coming out of this, and what we're going to do is actually come out of the X-ray mode, just so we can select faces easier. Go to the face select, E, and then S to scale. And then I'm just going to extrude this, in fact E and S to scale again. And then I'm going to extrude this along the normal and just put that little dent in there, and then extrude along the normal once more, just actually put one more line, just make it nice and sharp. That's the base of our pepper pot. And of course, what we'd have it up here is we'd have the thing that fastens the lid on, and what we can do is actually select this top face, E to extrude, S to scale, E to extrude, do this twice, and depending how big you want your oval, you can actually just extrude along the normals, take it in the wrong direction, and then extruding the normals again, take it down, and then extruding the normals again to make the sharp hole that we see up here. So quickly and easily we've made ourselves a pepper pot. I'm just going to press the H key to hide our pepper pot, because now we're going to actually work on this little, I don't know, we call it little nut basically on the top. So add in a mesh, and the mesh we're going to add in is a cylinder. Add in mesh, and we're going to select cylinder. Now we're just going to use the default cylinder for this, and what we're going to do is G and C just to move it up to there, and then scale it down to our reference image. Pressing the full stop will zoom in on our image, and I'm just going to scale this like that, because I'm going to make G and Z this up here. Just move it over slightly because my reference image is off center for some reason. I'm just going to move that like that, and quickly and easily just going to extrude this down, extrude along normals like that, and G and Z just to move it down so it's about there. And same again, what we're going to do is we're going to actually first of all E and S to actually make that, E and S to do that again, and in fact what we'll do is actually make this basic shape, so G and Z just to move it up like that. Control and R, and we're just going to do the same thing again, just Control and R, and just scale this down until we've got our shape. GG just to move it up, working on the narrowest points again, and like I say, just scaling it down. Now I'm not going to mess about too much with this because it's where you want a sharp loop cut, you put it down like that, and what I'm going to do is put a sharp one up there, put one down here by pressing Ctrl and R and just moving the loop cuts up and down. GG will obviously allow you to move loop cuts up and down. And last but not least, just actually get the little nails to actually stick out on this. What we're going to do is actually select this. I did that by pressing the Alt key, going on face select, selecting it just like that, and then go on this select, and what we're going to do is check a deselect, extrude along the normals just to get that kind of shape, and then we're going to add in one subdivision modifier, add in subdivision surface modifier, which will make that kind of shape. Let's add a metal to this just so it's easier to see. Just a grey colour, and add a bit of metallic to it, shade smooth, And last but not least, we're just going to add a bit of, take a bit of the roughness out, so we got the actual shine. So we got that. I'm just going to Control and R to put a loop cut there, because I wanted to sharpen up slightly there. Control R just to move it down there. And then just adding one more colour to it. I'm just going to select this top face. As you can see, there's an end on there. Now there's two ways of getting rid of an end on. You can actually just put the grid fill by just X and delete the faces. Or what you can do, just to actually hide it in your render, as you can see these funny distortion lines, you can just E and S to scale, G and Z, and then what you do is you put two n-gons, you put two, it's exactly the same place, so E and scale, and then E and scale. Because these are at the same height, that gets rid of the actual distortion. I'm just going to add another loop cut to this to sharpen it, and of course that would actually go down into my pepper pot, so I'm just going to add in a little peg on the bottom of this. E and scale, extrude a little bit, E and scale, extrude along normals. That's it. And extrude one more time. And like I said, to get rid of that distortion, E and S and E and S just on the same width. So now we've made our little thing that goes on the top. Add one more colour. Make this the normal white. And what you can do is actually select this top face, grow the actual selection, hit that, and then what you do is assign the colour. So we've quickly and easily, in fact I'm going to expand that one more time and assign the colour. So that denotes the salt. It's up to you. You can take the roughness right down on this, and the more you take it down, the more reflected it obviously gets. And same with the shininess. If you take the shininess right up, that's on the white colour, but you can also do it on the actual metal itself. So the shinier you want it, the shinier it is, and you can actually reduce it until you're left with that kind of colour. Then press the Alt and H to make your pepper pot reappear. Fix these together, so select that, join them, and there you have it. You've got yourself a salt pot. Now if I wanted a pepper pot, all I'd do is Shift and D to duplicate this, G and X. You could make it a slightly different shape if you wanted, but normally they're pretty similar in colour. Select that face, grow the selection, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one more colour to this, which is going to be my pepper colour. Just add another colour, new. Let's have the pepper denoted by orange and just assign it. So there we go. We've got our salt and we've got our pepper pot. And of course, you can actually get rid of all your reference image now. And what you've done is you made yourself a salt pot and a pepper pot. And if you want to add more detail under here, you like the little wheels they tend to have, or the little, the little grinding mechanism, then you can do. But a lot of the time, this is just scenery on a table, and nobody looks underneath because it's on the base. And then all, of course, you need to do, just to finish this tutorial off, is apply all your modifiers like that. Apply them all. And if you find that the actual, as you can see, we've now made a fairly low poly model that would look good on any table. Same with the other one. So going to edit mode, as you can see, a fairly low poly model. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please subscribe to my channel. And if you find this useful, hit the like. Bye for now.